Hi, this is Dave and welcome to the Table, a series of videos where I review and discuss various board and card games, looking at them from a family perspective. And today we're going to be taking a look at a game that is currently on Kickstarter from Epic Scale Games called D6 Shooter. Now, this is a Western-themed press your luck card and dice game for 2 to 4 players, in which the players start off as bounty hunters and they are racing to be promoted to the rank of marshal. They're going to be doing this by rounding up various bandits and using their reputation to cash in to be promoted through the ranks. We're going to be starting off as a bounty hunter, working our way up to a deputy, a sheriff, and finally the marshal to win the game. There's some events that take place in the game that could offset the balance of how things are going, but there's also some items that you can buy from the general store to help you along the way. Let's take a look at the game and how it's played, and I'll come back and I'll give you my thoughts. Okay, here I have a prototype of D6 Shooter set up for 2 players, and let me quickly go over the components. First thing that we're going to have is 10 cards that are going to make up the deck for the general store, and they're going to be a number of different items that we can use along the way in our race to be promoted to the rank of marshal. And so we will shuffle up the 10 cards, and then we will reveal 3 of them and have these available for purchase throughout the game. And as items are purchased, they will be replenished by new items from the general store. There's also going to be another stack of cards that will have event cards in here that will have different things that will happen, or there will also be bandits that we will have to capture. So you can see here they're wanted, and there's some information on here that we should know about. First of all, this number 2 is going to be the reputation points that he is worth for capturing him. This is going to be the requirements that we need to roll on our dice in order to capture him. And so you see these are faces from a deck of cards. And then also down at the bottom is going to be how much in cash that he is going to be worth if he is captured. So this one is worth $400. The game also comes with 6 six-sided dice, so thus we get the name D6 for the shooter. And on the face of the die, there are going to be different symbols that represent a deck of cards. So we have diamonds, we have spades, we have hearts, we have clubs, and then we also have a joker on here, which is going to be a wild face. And then on the other side, we have a skull, which is representing a miss, and will also lock up our dice during the game. Now each player will also have 2 sets of double-sided cards. We will start off with the bounty hunter. Eventually we'll be able to get promoted to deputy. Next we'll be able to get promoted to sheriff. And finally, if we get promoted to marshal, we will win the game. So at the beginning of the game, we will shuffle up all of these cards that will form our play deck here in the middle that say D6 Shooter on them. And we have our 3 items from the general store. Now there is a press your luck aspect to this game, and so it's going to be interesting to see how things shake out, but I'm going to show you a couple of turns as to how this game is played. So at the beginning of our turn, we are going to draw the top card of our game deck, and we will place it out into what's considered the in-play area, which will be right here in front of us. Now, let's look at the requirements for him. He is going to require 2 hearts, 2 clubs, and a diamond. And so on our turn, what we will do is we will roll all 6 of our dice. And if we have any skulls, they are a miss, and they will essentially be locked, and we cannot re-roll them the rest of the turn. Now, we have the ability to re-roll our dice 3 times. We can keep things that we want in an attempt to capture him. So let's see what we have. We have 1 heart, 2 hearts, we have 1 club, and we have a diamond, and I also have this joker, which I can use as a club in order to capture this guy. So we will go ahead and do that. Now, I have a choice that I have to make here. I can choose to end my turn, bring him back to my jail, or I can press my luck and try to capture more bandits. And that's what I'm going to choose to do. And so what I will do is reveal the next card. Here is another one who's going to be worth $400. We need a heart, a spade, a club, and a diamond. And so now I can re-roll all of the dice that I've used before, with the exception of the skull, which was lost before. We'll go ahead and roll our dice. And I now have 2 skulls here, and I have 2 diamonds and a heart, I do not have enough dice in order to claim this guy here. So what happens now is both of these bandits are going to escape. And so what happens is these 2 go into the discard pile, and the first player's turn is over. What now play is going to go over the second player's turn. They will have all 6 dice to roll, and they're going to do the same thing. Here we have this particular bandit requires a heart, a spade, a club, and 2 diamonds. So we'll go ahead and roll the dice. And we have a heart, we have a club, 2 diamonds. And so now I just need to get a spade, so I'll re-roll these 2. And I will use this joker as a spade to capture him. Press my luck and continue to roll on. We'll re-roll all of the dice. We had nothing lost because of skulls. And we have a heart, and we have a diamond, and I'll use one of these jokers as a club to capture this one. Right now I still don't have any dice locked up. I'm going to continue to press on. And there's an event card that just came up. It says jailbreak. Your bandits escaped. Discard all bandits in your jail. Unfortunately for me, I do not have any bandits in my jail right now, so this event card will just be discarded. And we're going to continue on. Here's another one that's wanted. We need a heart, a diamond, and clubs. We'll roll. Here's a skull. Here's a heart, a club. We'll use this joker as a diamond. I'm going to continue to press on. This is another one. I only need a heart and a spade. We rolled another skull. I'll use this one and a spade to capture him. I'm down to only 4 dice. I don't feel like pressing my luck anymore, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to end my turn. When I end my turn, any bandits that I have wrangled up during my turn, I can now haul down to my jail. So this one is worth 2 reputation points. 1, so that's 3, 4, and 5 reputation points right now. Or I also have $1,300 in reward money. If I look at my requirement as being the bounty hunter, it says earn 6 reputation points to be promoted to deputy. So what's going to happen is over the course of our turns, back to player 1, we will continue to go on trying to capture these bandits. When we do get to 6 reputation points, at least for the bounty hunter, what we can do is we can choose to cash in all of those bandits. They will go in the discard pile, and then we would flip our card over to the next rank, which would become deputy. It says now we can re-roll 1 skull. So if we have 1 skull, we could be able to re-roll it. And it says now earn 8 reputation points to be promoted to sheriff. So again, we're going to have to do the same thing in order to wrangle up these bandits and cash them in, looking at the reputation points. Now the other thing that we can do is we could choose to take one of our bandits from our jail, and at the beginning of our turn we can cash it in for its reward value, and we could purchase items from the general store. Now we can overpay, we don't get change, but these become items that we can have in our play area, and we can use them as a one-time event. For example, here, reload. It says reloads all skulls previously rolled. So if we're sitting on a pretty bad turn, we can choose to use this card, and we can then re-roll our skulls. And so over the course of the game, we are going to be continuing to press our luck, trying to round up all these different bandits, bringing them from the play area into our jail, trying to avoid any kind of nasty events that are in here, purchasing some items to help us along the way, and the first person to reach the rank of Marshal is the winner, and that is how you play D6 Shooter. Alright, so you had a chance to see how D6 Shooter plays. Let's talk about the game. The first thing that I want to talk about is the production quality for this, and for a prototype, the artwork is very, very good. Really comes across with this nice Western theme with these wanted posters for all of these different bandits. They look awesome. You look at that. Really, really nice quality artwork. And I'm sure the dice are going to be custom dice, so they turned out even nice even for this prototype. The rules. Very straightforward game. Very, very easy to play. And so just makes for a nice game. Now, the actual gameplay itself, rolling dice and matching them up to cards, is nothing new under the sun. There are other games that I own and play that have very, very similar mechanics, and I enjoy those games. But one of the things that stands out for me is this whole press your luck aspect. And that is what really drives this game, because on your turn you have a choice to keep going and going and going, trying to capture these bandits. And the more skulls that you roll, the less dice that you have to work with. And so it becomes, you get to a point where, is it worth it to try and draw one more card, hoping maybe you can get a lesser valuable bandit that you can snag? Or are you going to all of a sudden turn up a really, really bad guy that you're going to need a lot of dice to capture him, and you're not going to be able to do it, and thus all of your bandits that you have wrangled up so far are lost for that particular turn. So you do have this risk versus reward, press your luck aspect that is going to be built in every single turn. Now, the other thing that is really neat about this game is that once you are capturing these different bandits, you have different things that you can do with them. You can choose to store them up and cash them in with their reputation points to be promoted through the ranks, which is what you want to do because it's a race. But you also have the option of using the cash reward value and cashing them in and buying items from the general store that's going to give you a little bit of help along the way. So you do have a couple of uses for these cards that are in your that will end up in your jail. And again, when we are playing the game, as long as there are cards that are in the in-play area, they're not yours until you end your turn and you put them into your jail. Now, just because they're in your jail does not mean that they are safe, because there are some event cards in here that are really, really nasty. And those are your jailbreak cards, in which all of your bandits that are in your jail escape. So that's going to be one of the things that in the game is going to maybe deter you from holding on to too many bandits, or it's going to make you have to go into the general store and buy an item, perhaps like this Night Watch, which will cost you $500, and it says it stops a jailbreak, or somebody can choose to buy dynamite and try to blow up your jail and have all your bandits escape. So there's a little bit of player interaction and a little bit of take that can happen. But there are some items that you can use to try to mitigate that. So lots of different things that you can do in the game. It's quite a bit of fun looking at this game from a family perspective. It's definitely something that kids can play with adults too. It's going to be getting you accustomed to what the suits are in a deck of cards, and it's just going to be rolling dice, matching up symbols, and then making that simple choice of whether you're going to press your luck or not. It is a lighter style game, and it plays rather quickly, so it's something that will definitely, again, fit into a family's time frame, with the games typically running about half an hour. So if this is a game that you are interested in, I will have information in the video description below. You can go ahead and check that out. And again, it's D6 Shooter from Epic Scale Games. And if you enjoyed watching this video and you'd like to see more of what I'm doing, you can go ahead and click the subscribe button. I would appreciate that, and to keep you up to date on all of our reviews and different programming that we will have on our channel. You can also choose to follow us on Twitter at I'll have the information in the video description below, as well as we use Periscope. We're on Facebook and Instagram. I'll have all that information there. And also, if you're interested in financially supporting this particular program, the To The Table show, you can go ahead and click on the link to take you over to Patreon, and you can look at your options there. All right, that's it for now, and join me again next time as we take a look at another game and we see how it makes it to the table. Bye-bye.